Yeah, well, and like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm not as disciplined as you are about my no-goes. I try. I actually find that tabulating is kind of fun. It's also fun to get really triggering comments and to not close the dopamine loop for them. I think if people understood the dopamine reward prediction error, that we could end all the amplifying comment battles online. Because what happens is if someone takes a jab at you of any kind, there's actually an open dopamine loop waiting for you to respond. And any response actually gives them that dopamine response of success. It's a little bit of it's like scoring a three-pointer. And the no response actually drops their dopamine below baseline. And that's its own form of retaliation, and I have to be careful because I don't want to encourage people to retaliate, but anything that short circuits the kind of madness of getting pulled into some online battle that's totally meaningless, it's taking people away from other powerful, good things that they could do in the world. You know, we've been talking mainly about dopamine and its scheduling and about the fact that it can be attached to anything. I think many people find it hard to subjectively attach dopamine to something they don't want to do. This is something that if we'd spoken a year ago, my answer would have been a little bit different to the question of how do you get motivated? Well, one way to do that is if you are good at subjectively attaching dopamine to the pursuit, just knowing, okay, I really am hungry for this. I'm going to tell myself that, making it 1% of the way is a success, and I'm going to keep going and I'm going to keep ratcheting on. And that's great if you can do that. But for people that can't do that, understanding this relationship with the pleasure-pain balance can be more powerful. Just understanding the more friction and pain that you experience, the greater the dopamine reward you will get later, and that serves as its own amplifier of the whole process of pursuing more dopamine. And then the other aspect of it is that anytime that we're leaning into action, it has the possibility of being an amplifying process or a depleting process. And the key to that is making sure that you're balancing the dopamine and epinephrine systems. Epinephrine being this molecule of universal currency of energy output. It could be out of hate or it could be out of love. Epinephrine doesn't care, and actually dopamine doesn't care. None of these systems care about us. They just work underneath our conscious control. But when you start to understand that hitting the gas pedal is great, but hitting the gas pedal and then coming off the gas pedal a little bit, you can kind of sit in a more relaxed RPM, actually allows you to go much further.